For these two groups, what do you see out of this one, Chelsea?
Chicago has the advantage because they're playing at home. It's always a plus when you're familiar with your environment. Bamba brings serious pace and loves to take players on 1v1, so expect him to use his speed.
Here we go. Chicago in the red kit. Lamy, Glasgow looks for space, gives it back through the right side. Hala Selassie brings it in, chips it high into the air, knocked away, and then on the volley attempt, it is Acosta.
Really great combination off the ball, movement off the ball, and looking for those spaces. Take that shot. That's exactly what they needed to do.
How about this takeaway? And Ugo Kuipers, MLS's leading goal scorer, strikes 4 minutes in and puts the Fire out in front, 1-0.
Berhalter made this comment during our call. He said that if Kuipers gets that chance, he will put one away, and that's exactly what he did. Chicago did very well with a high press to emphasize on Detroit's back.
Pressure right now of Chicago forcing these giveaways, and it's Kouame. Glasgow debates. Glasgow sends a missile across. Gets knocked away by the back line and sets up Chicago for its first corner.
The idea was great by Glasgow. He just really didn't get a foot on it correctly, but this play all came from Chicago pressing and forcing Detroit to make that mistake.
Corner kick set up for Chicago. Aaron Hala Selassie, the Switzerland native, sends a slingshot in. Headed across, knocked down by Saldana as he saves this opportunity to keep it at 1-0.
What a brilliant...
It hovers in the sky and Elliott angles it away. Elliott settles once more and Gutman flies this ball forward. It's around a defender and it picks out Bamba. Bamba with decisions to make. Clips it out. Kuipers shoots. His first chance tonight. Bamba a second bite. Crushes this ball across, and it hits the outside netting, but yet again, Chicago showing the danger that they have.
Bamba's not going to be shy about taking those players on 1v1. He has that explosiveness. He's going to take the space. If you give him space, he's going to give it to you. Then you have Kuipers, who has intelligence of where he's standing on the field. That typical number 9, those little steps make a difference.
A team that has been to more semifinals than any MLS team. 13 of them in the U.S. Open Cup and the 4-time champions. Bamba gets cut off by Reese Williams and right in front of the Detroit City supporters on that side that made the trek over.
Great timing by Reese Williams to go in for that tackle and not get a foul.
The Detroit City supporters making the journey over, hoping to see a cup set here today. Glasgow curls it in. Kuipers angles, and it trickles out, but yet again, Ugo Kuipers just hovering around the top of the 6.
This is exactly what Kuipers is going to do. He's going to float around the 6, and he's going to wait for that service. And that's exactly what he did with Glasgow. He made that connection, that eye connection, that you can tell that this is practice. This is what they do during training. They're having fun right now.
It has worked so far in this matchup. They have all 7 shots so far in the game. Amala, it's Yanks, so he draws the foul.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Chicago side. We're seeing that they have the talent. They're being proactive. They're moving into spaces. Something that they normally...
This ball over the top and on the chip. Hala Selassie.
This all starts by being proactive, exactly what I was saying before. Moving into those spaces before. I really wonder what their team chat was like before this game.
It's a takeaway, and it's Smith finally getting a piece.
Someone can change this, right? But I feel as if, how I mentioned before, that they've adapted to Chicago's game rather than making Chicago adapt to their game. We're not seeing them use their wing backs much. We're seeing them defend with a back line of 5 when they normally defend with a back line of 3. Start playing your game. Win those first balls. Play simple. That's how you gain the confidence. 1, 2 touches, connect passes. If they connect at least 4 passes, I can guarantee you this game will change.
Smith, need to get him more involved. The USL's leading goal scorer. It's taken away, however, and a run being made here. Haile Selassie sends it over. Kuipers watches the slide of Ryan Williams erase that. And yet again, every time that Detroit has a little bit of possession, Chicago is ready to pounce.
Great counterattack by Selassie, running at the back line, and movement from Kuipers, right? This is where experience comes in. He's gonna make those runs in behind, overlap. And that's when you really confuse the defensive line.
Boiling point here for Chicago as they eye a second goal in this first half. Haile Selassie shoots it in. Kuipers angles it around, and it's an own goal. On the redirects, Darren Smith gets a foot out there. Chicago adds a second, and a 2-0 edge 10 minutes before halftime.
Unfortunate for Darren Smith, but what a great service by Selassie. Great things happen when you crash a box, right? You get that ball.
Long distance here. Jack Elliott arcs this ball in, and Saldana gets both paws on it, punches it over the top, and that could be a big moment. Instead of catching it, now has to have his team deal with another corner. It'll be the 6th of the match.
Body language is crucial right now, and I'm seeing Saldana's face. He's frustrated. He's frustrated with himself. Those are balls that should be easily caught.
Haile Selassie crosses this ball inside of the 18. It's knocked down. It's second chance from Gutman, and it is Saldana that gets a right paw to push it over the top.
By Selassie with that curved ball, and Gutman waiting. With that save and that quick reaction.
He's made 2 saves tonight. Otherwise, this would be 4-0. Haile Selassie again with this corner. A couple heads. And finally, Brian is able to at least get it upfield to prevent a corner, but right into the path of Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie recycles Kouame. Here's a giveaway. Detroit looking to play back rather than go forward. Here's a giveaway. Kuipers steps up. Kuipers laces. It gets blocked by Saldana. Another opportunity is saved on the doorstep from Haile Selassie.
And he will try to score. And that's exactly what happened with Detroit not being proactive. They really got saved in this play.
Steve, between both sides, what's the messaging that you have for these two teams?
Chicago has been doing great. They've been proactive when we normally see a side that is reactive to things, and I feel like that's the theme right now.
In the 11. Fire in the red kits, white kits for Detroit City. Second half starts with the Fire in possession. Michael Watring, former Colombian midfielder Chelsea Gabarkis and the rest of our team with you here on Paramount Plus here this evening to watch this round of 32 matchup.
Which is not necessarily what you want from your team. You need them to score first and maintain that score, and that really comes down to maturity.
Ryan Williams arcs this ball in, no issues for Chris Brady. The 21-year-old keeper, already in his 4th year with a fires this ball out. He was looking for Haile Selassie. Instead, it gets taken away. Chicago has history against teams from Michigan. They played the Michigan Bucks in 2012 in the 3rd round. Now the Flint City Bucks. They would lose that game in Pontiac 3-2 in extra time after leading 2-1 until the 79th minute. So there's so much history where each side have had their fair share of either great comebacks in Detroit or some setbacks if you're Chicago. But they've only lost twice on this field in 35 tries in the Open Cup history during regulation. And so far, so good for the Fire. And here comes Bamba. Bamba on the full sprint. Cuts to the middle of the field. Lays it off. It is Glasgow curling it around. Glasgow opens his account with the Fire. The 21-year-old makes it 3 in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Great things happen when Bamba has the ball. He's gonna take those defenders on 1v1 and move, cutting in. He's forcing defenders to make that choice, and that's exactly what he did. He went ahead and he laid it off. He laid it off to Glasgow, and Glasgow placed it perfectly into that far corner.
That trio replaces Bamba, Kuipers, and Elliots. A chance now to defend for that trio against Cedeno.
It's a great time for Berhalter to give his team some rest, his offensive players.
This ball comes out. In the end, it's the first shot attempt of the match from LaRouche in Kentucky. 1-0 lead against Louisville City. Darius Randall's goal in the 65th minute, the difference. Gutierrez slaloms around. It's out wide. Haile Selassie throws it around, and it's Carroll that clears.
A beautiful setup by Gutierrez, and having that confidence to go ahead and be cheeky and find that window to go ahead and find Selassie. I would love to see more of that. This is where he's going to gain that confidence in games like this.
Corner kick. Haile Selassie has been at the forefront of the goal scoring so far. Throws this ball in, and it comes to the back post. It's Acosta that pounds this ball. Saldana saves, and the second chance is offside.
Great service by Selassie. If Acosta would have just opened up his body a little bit to go ahead and curve that ball to a corner and place it, would have been perfect. He would have gotten the back of the net. It was just how he positions his foot.
Glasgow steals. Glasgow, who has a goal in this game, cuts it across. Gutierrez hits it wide.
Inside, overlapping runs. What a great look by Glasgow.
We've played an hour plus in this match. It has been all Chicago from the jump in the 110th U.S. Open Cup. Chicago getting a goal from Kuipers in the 4th, an own goal in the 35th. And they add one more on a Glasgow goal in the 50th minute of this game.
I'm really surprised that Detroit went ahead and took Smith out. The thing was that Smith wasn't getting those services or those plays to even be dangerous. Sometimes that's exactly what you need in that front line, a little bit of experience to stretch out the opponent. A good battle that we just saw there.
Over the top this goes, and this lands. Villanueva swings it around. Brady with the left paw swats it away.
What a great ball. And this is what I want to see more of from this Detroit side, because that's where they're successful, when they play those cross-diagonal balls from the back line to their wing backs.
Orahel, the 19-year-old from the Chicagoland area, is a Golden Ball winner at the MLS Next Championship in 2021. Replaces Kuwami.
Now we're starting to see Detroit move the ball around, throw in those diagonal balls, cross those balls in the air.
Villanueva again attacking that ball, committing the infraction. It's been a better half for Detroit City, but they gave up that goal 5 minutes into the second half. Rather than be able to peel back a layer to trim the margin in half, they have seen themselves fall behind 3-0. Winner of this will get the winner of Rhode Island and New England. And New England have just scored the go-ahead goal. Cristiano Oliveira in the 88th minute. And the Revs moments away from capturing a victory at Rhode Island in front of a sold-out crowd there. To advance and make it New England and Chicago in the next round. Gutierrez lays this off. Acosta rolls it over, and it is an easy finish for Tom Barlow.
Amazing little flick there, and combination by...
It was brilliant all around, but the flag going up negates that opportunity.
A great play by them with that counter attack and combination between Acosta, Barlow, and Gutierrez. Amazing little flick there, and combination by these three players, Gutierrez, Acosta, and Barlow. This is where you see the comfort level and how they're able to be creative in that final third. This is definitely what I love to see.
Well, entering the night, roughly a third of matches so far of the 69 played entering the evening had gone to extra time. And the home team, 37 wins, 32 losses in that window of time. But tonight, the home team here in Chicago have held serve, and so far no games have needed extra time. But Philadelphia Indy changing that. Gutierrez is here. It's over, and it is Haile Selassie finishing this one off. A fourth. A man that has 2 assists in this game gets a goal for his own to make it 4-0 for the Fire.
This really started with Gutierrez movement before the play even started. He peeled away, came back in, checked in, attacked the back line, and flicked it over to Selassie. Selassie placing it perfectly with composure to the back of the net. Brilliant. I'm so happy for Selassie because
that Detroit City group last year on this day had one heck of a comeback to overcome a 2-goal deficit. Haile Selassie is in. Haile Selassie rips the cords for the second time in 6 minutes. And it'll be against New England.
if he would have timed his run a little bit better.
Williams against Orahel. Doesn't get enough on that to really challenge Chris Brady, who comes up with his second save of the evening. Haile Selassie getting a fourth. Acosta touches this ball forward. Dean ships it over the top.
Mistake in playing it into the middle. And Chicago will not disappoint you.
Corner kick in. Jungled by Abu Mensah. Cedeno. Last chance here for Detroit to get a goal. He goes over everybody. There's your final whistle. It is a decisive, dominating, destructive effort from Chicago Fire against Detroit City.